You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Coming to you from the Bob Studios, it's the History of Bad Ideas podcast with your host, Jason Brigger and Jeff Now.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 23 on the History of Bad Ideas podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are rocking and rolling this week. We are excited. We're back from Origins in Columbus, Ohio.
Woo!
And even for a non-gamer, I'm pumped about it.
Yes, and for a gamer, I was very pumped about it.
That was pretty descriptive. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. Let's see, just a quick couple things here. We're on the Musings Geek Network.
So listen to all of their brilliant shows, including, well, I'll list Graphic Novice first because they get complained about. They complain about being listed last. So Graphic Novice is on there.
Yes, and please listen to them so they're not last in the Stitcher rankings. Just saying, they're a great Canadian comic book hockey podcast. So,
all right, and then we've got
Musings?
Musings of a Geek, the podcast that started the entire network.
Best of the Worst. Movie podcast. The Q from Hell.
Q from Hell. Who the What Now?
Yep.
Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks.
Feet.
No, we'll say freaks because we're not like those Canadians who get it confused.
Yeah, they have a foot fetish. Sweating the Small Stuff. Pilots podcast.
Yes. The Arkham Social Network.
Arkham Social Network, which...
Arkham Social Hour.
Hour. Which we actually have a promo coming up about Origins. So take a look at Des and all those guys. And Gwen.
Don't forget Brandon.
And Brandon. Yay! That was my impersonation of Brandon.
That was your best impersonation yet.
All right.
Your Brandon one was better.
Okay. So, take a look there. And we also got Culture Babble over there with the blogs coming out every week. So, there you go. So, first thing we do is listener feedback. And who do we go for first?
The Doctor. Number one fan. No.
Nope. Hold on.
Are we changing?
He is no longer the Doctor.
Wow, 1 week and he's no longer the Doctor.
Your brother had a good point. This is from Jim. Doug can't give himself a nickname.
Oh.
According to Sports Night, can't give yourself a nickname.
Can't give yourself
I wanted to be called the Hammer. You know why I can't?
Because you can't give yourself a nickname.
That's right.
Oh.
If you haven't watched Sports Nights, kiddos, please do so.
Okay, so it's from number one fan Doug.
Yep, Doug's back. Okay, unless we give him a nickname.
It won't be the Doctor, though.
I like Doug as a nickname.
It reminds me of the dog from Up.
Reminds me of Doug from the Nickelodeon cartoon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was an awful show.
Yeah, I'm too old to even really know anything about it other than it existed.
Okay, we saw the movie.
Did we?
Actually, that might have been with my older brother. Okay, moving on. We previewed
I didn't see the Doug movie. I saw the Wild Thornberry movie.
Yeah, I saw that with you.
I saw what was the one with the dog?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see the Doug movie.
Okay, so moving on. Doug asked, in honor, or in, I guess, celebration or whatever, of PTI, pardon the interruption, he asked, what are the odds of these films being made?
Oh, we're doing an odd thing
Yes.
now. Okay.
Ant-Man, Black Panther, Aquaman, and Arrow, and odds that Arrow from CW shows up in Justice League. And number 5, an Alpha Flight movie for Graphic Novice.
Okay. Well, let's start with number 1. Ant-Man. Odds it'll be made.
100%. Are we doing numbers?
Are we doing percentage? Isn't that
Let's do percentage. Let's do percentage. I like that better.
Okay.
I haven't watched PTI in a while. You go first on Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, 100%. It's in the works. They're going to make it. They've even, fired and hired directors to make sure that they keep this on track. So that's being made.
I'm going 100% being made. 50% it may suck. 50% it may be good.
Edgar Wright's passion is now gone from it, but come on, it is the guy who did Bring It On.
Spirit Fingers
again.
Black Panther, I'm going 75%.
I think I'm going to go 66%.
Okay. I'm going 75% because I think they know they need a new leader after Captain America's dead.
Yeah, I'm just not 100% sure that they'll go Black Panther. Personally, that is kind of the one I think they should do, but I don't know if they will. I don't know how much they like the character or how much, the comic book fans in general do. I know we do and would like to see it. I'm not sure all over. So I think better percent chance that it will be made than not be made, but I'm still, maybe 2/3. So yeah, 66.
I'm going, what do you think? After Avengers 3, the next one is not going to be called Avengers 4, it will be called the New Avengers, you think?
Oh, that would make smart. Or even the Mighty Avengers.
Yeah, you could do that.
I kind of like that. I that's what I liked when they redid Spider-Man. They at least called it the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. I was kind of waiting for them to make an Uncanny X-Men movie, but they still have yet to do that.
Number 3, Aquaman. We got some information on the News of the Geek on this. I'm going to go, but just a standalone Aquaman, I'm going 40%. I think the technology is really difficult for it.
Oh, wow.
Underwater,
yeah, underwater, yeah.
And I just don't trust Warner Brothers making it.
I think I might go 75% chance, but it's probably 10 years down the line.
Okay.
Or at least 5, because the DC movies that they probably have planned, according to rumor, doesn't include this, so it's at least 5, probably closer to 10 years.
At least 2020.
Away. Yeah.
Odds Arrow from CW shows up in the Justice League. Your call.
10%.
Wow.
And I honestly think I'm going high on that. I don't think they're going to cross over the television to the movies.
I'm going 25%.
Okay.
I don't have much faith. If they were smart, they should. The only thing that scares me is that I saw, and I don't have this in News of the Geek because it's very early, but they were showing that some of the possible people that might be showing up this year as bad guys, and Ra's al Ghul's showing up in Arrow in season 3. Supposedly Brick, who's one of the bad guys. He not Brick from the middle, but Brick from the comic books. And supposedly Blue Beetle might be showing up this year. Because they've already mentioned him. Yeah.
Yeah, they have. I know they've done stuff from Cord Industries and whatnot. So
I think they could do it, but then I also am thinking that DC might just be like, you know what, Arrow, you got a good thing. Just do whatever you want. You can be your own pocket of a universe.
That's how I feel. I think they're going to try to keep their TV and movie world separate just because they don't want to have to necessarily put the continuity that's going in that they're currently putting in Arrow and the new Flash coming out. I don't think they really want to put that into the movies. And I think they are kind of going for more event things when they do their movies, more so than an ongoing. So I
personally would rather have no Green Arrow in the Justice League movie or in the DC movies and just leave him alone. Flash I'm okay with because they're separate Flashes in the universe. So
if they do a movie, it might be Wally West.
I have no
Barry
problem
Allen
if you do Wally West
like
in the movies for Flash, and then just that's their own pocket. You can explain it easy. Green Arrow, I think if you have 2 Green Arrows running around in the movies and the TVs, you're going to have casual fans being like, what the hell is this? And I think you would actually hurt the TV show.
I don't know. This is the second Green Arrow on television. I mean, there was the guy playing Green Arrow.
Yeah, but that show's no longer on. I'm talking if Arrow is still on TV and then you have the movie, I think it's going to have a little confusion. Especially if the movie Arrow is a better actor than the Arrow in the TV show.
Well, I would hope it would be, to be honest. If you're putting it in the movies, and I don't want to take anything away from Stephen Amell, that's his name, I think.
And I like him a lot.
But if you're doing it in the movie, there's just more at stake in the movies than there is on the TV show. And this is coming from a fan of the TV show.
An Alpha Flight movie. I have a 70% chance that they show up in S.H.I.E.L.D. one way or another.
Some sort of Alpha Flight in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Movie, 2%.
I think I'll agree with the 2%. And honestly, that 2% is because I would actually want to see an Alpha Flight movie. So I'm kind of hoping it happens. There's an outside chance they might show up in some other Marvel movie. I don't know if that would necessarily be connected with X-Men. If Fox would have the rights to Alpha Flight.
I think Marvel still does.
Okay, because I know they spawned out of X-Men and Wolverine and all that stuff.
I think Marvel still has the rights.
Well, if Marvel has the rights, then the chance is a lot less.
Okay, Doug. Okay, so Doug, second question. Any interest for either of you to see Harry Potter Land at Universal Studios Orlando?
This fall we are planning on taking a trip down to Florida.
Maybe see if Disney will let us do a podcast.
Oh, maybe.
I'll send a thing to their press.
Go ahead. If Disney lets us do a podcast, then we'll go there. Otherwise, I don't have a plan on going to Disney. But we were talking about going to Universal because I know some of the people we are going with are pushing for Universal. And honestly, I kind of do want to see the Harry Potter stuff there. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter. I call myself a casual fan. I enjoyed the movies. Read a couple of books. Was disappointed in the books I read, but I hear they get better as they go on. Kind of as the kids grow up, the books get
better.
More, they get the books grow up with the kids. So
I couldn't get past the first book. It was all a pop-up book. I couldn't get past it. The tabs kept breaking. I couldn't pull the things.
You pull the thing, and then the head was supposed to move, but it just...
The Quidditch broom wasn't moving. I don't know. It was all messed up.
Bad pop-up.
I'm not a Potter fan. I'm not against... I don't dislike it. I saw the first movie. I did not like the acting in it. And I knew they were kids, but I didn't like the acting. I was kind of bored by it. I'm sure it gets better. I'm happy they're made. I think the later ones look good. But I am intrigued to see it. Pretty much, Universal Studios I've never been to, but I really want to go see it. I want to see the Simpsons Land.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Simpsons Land.
And then Islands of Adventure. There's a Jurassic Park water ride. I love water rides, and I am excited to see it.
Okay.
And it's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm not usually 100% fond of water rides. They get you wet, and then you have to walk around.
It's Florida. It's going to be 1,000 degrees in September even.
Yeah, but you chafe areas that you don't want to chafe.
Just put some talcum powder.
We'll have to bring one and put some in the locker or something.
I will say, did you see on our Facebook page, History of Bad Ideas, that I put the top abandoned amusement parks link?
I saw the link to that, harking back to last episode.
Yes.
So if you want to hear us talk about abandoned amusement parks, check out last episode.
Definitely see the one in New Orleans, the Jazzland that became the Six Flags park.
Yes.
It is creepy. And I do apologize. The island that I was talking about that Disney owned last week, River Country is in the water rides, but the one I was talking about with all the birds and animals still there is Discovery Island.
Oh, okay.
So, and my brother Doug did say that part of the reason they closed it down is because the filter for the island, they had to get a filter, Disney did, because the bacteria was actually deadly.
Oh, good. Disney's killing people.
I think it's just because of the water around it and that. So I guess it was too expensive.
Their animatronics might break and start chopping people up.
I love Westworld. Yul Brenner. Let's see here. From Paul, do people even care that they are trying to do a Justice League, Batman versus Superman movies? I don't feel the same hype I see with the Marvel releases, so it feels like they're going to bomb in comparison to Marvel numbers.
Yes, people care. It's just too early in the process right now. Like I said, I know they kind of pushed back the release date, and is it going to discuss that News of the Geek?
Yeah, we got a little bit of that News of the Geek.
So that'll be discussed in News of the Geek about the release date and kind of why they might have been toying with that. And I think DC, and I mean they've got, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are the big characters in comic books. As much as people are loving Iron Man and Captain America, when you think comics, you think Superman, Batman.
And Spider-Man. I think it's a big issue that Man of Steel did not hit as big as they thought. I think that's an issue that people are not as excited about. I think Batman versus Superman, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. There you go, Justin and Andrew. I think that is going to be good in terms of money. I think it's going to do, bombastic numbers. Bombastic. But I don't know if, I think if Man of Steel hit bigger than it did, I think you would have a lot more excitement. The problem is, like you said, it's not coming out till 2016 now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big issue.
Yeah, and the thing with Man of Steel is, I know there's been debate back and forth on whether it was good or bad and all that other stuff. Most people were disappointed. I know some people who thought it was the absolute worst comic book movie ever made.
I've heard people loved it, though.
But
there's our few.
I'm in the like it more than hate it category.
I'm in the hate it more than like it.
There are problems with the movie, and honestly, the problems that I have with it aren't necessarily the ones that I hear most people complain about.
I don't have a problem with him killing Zod at the end.
Oh, I had no problem with that. I honestly didn't even...
We actually both gasped in the theater, though, like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah. I didn't even really have as big of a problem with, the entire city of Metropolis being destroyed, which almost everybody complained about. My biggest problem was the early part, like when Superman was just a baby, when Kal-El was, just being born and shipped off, like... Well, pretty much any part that Russell Crowe was in. That all of a sudden, it became a sci-fi movie instead of a superhero movie. They just got too, and I know they're a science-y race, but it just seemed too different than anything they've ever done with Superman before.
I liked some of the stuff that Clark Kent was growing up with, like when he was growing and little kid. Kevin Costner's character was a dick. Pa Kent.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the whole tornado, I'm getting killed. Yeah. Pointless.
Yeah. We don't want people to know that you can survive a tornado, so I'm going to go and sacrifice myself.
And just stand there. Why don't you try to run? Yeah. I know your ankle's broken, but move. And then I had a problem with Russell Crowe. That whole series lasted way too long. That whole scene with
the beginning
Krypton
stuff. Yeah.
I had a bigger issue with him coming back as the little controlling doors and everything else.
Oh, they did that. I mean, that's to be expected, though.
I didn't like it. I had a problem that Lois Lane was able to figure out his identity and no one else in the fucking government could.
Lois Lane's the best reporter ever.
Bullshit. I had a problem with them not destroying Metropolis so much, but destroying Smallville.
And then going off to destroy Metropolis.
I felt like I was watching Team America destroy Paris. Don't worry, we got them.
Everything is Bane.
And that was about it. I thought General Zod chewed the scenery way too much, Michael Shannon.
Yeah, Michael Shannon did overdo it.
I liked his sidekicks. Zod's sidekicks.
Yeah, they were good. There were some good parts to it, and I would probably put it slightly better than average.
I was happy Lex Luthor wasn't in it.
Especially considering Superman movies.
Superman 3.
I liked it better than Superman 3. I liked it better than Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I liked it better than Superman Returns.
Hello, Lois. I'm outside your window. I got a restraining order. Please go away. What are you doing, Lois? Oh, I can see with my X-ray vision. You know what? This is a Superman movie. Guess what? No action will happen.
He stopped the plane from crashing.
No action will happen. Oh, my biggest enemy is Cal Penn.
Hey, he could be an enemy. That Kumar is shifty.
Fuck Superman Returns. God, I hate that movie. And then we got some feedback from Josh from 40 going on 14 podcast on our network, which we forgot to mention.
We did forget to mention. I apologize, guys.
You guys rock.
I was just listening to your latest one today. They've got an origin podcast.
I saw that
about their own origins. I listened to it today. It's good stuff.
His comment is, listening to your show archives, I have a response to something from episode 20, the Homestar Runner, episode 20. The Homestar Runner website did a stealth update this year, after nothing at all since December 2010. They cleverly updated the site on April 1st without any fanfare or promotion, so fans who tried to spread the word would not be believed that it was updated. Go check it out. It's still the first thing you see when you go to homestarrunner.com. I think that's kind of funny.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I saw him send that, and I certainly went right away to Homestar Runner. You didn't go?
No, I haven't gone yet. I haven't had a chance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, it's still the same humor. Homestar is hilarious. There's little cameos by Strong Bad, and you just go on and the funny thing I liked was they didn't even on the front page put on that it was even an update.
Correct.
So the update still says last update December 2012 or 2010. So,
and then I got a question just to tease it. Firefly, Amy and Bob Holt from Culture Babble. Amy
Whalen Dagger.
Thank you. Sorry, Amy. I just went over my head, my last name. And Bob Holt, who do Culture Babble, they're actually coming into our show next week.
Yay.
First ever time we have 2 guests in the studio.
2 guests. It's a special event.
Need to knock out a wall.
Oh, yeah.
So
can they fit in the studio?
I don't know. We've expanded the studio, so it's nice. We pushed back a wall like in Time Bandits. We just pushed against the wall and moved it back. So everybody's comfortable. But anyways, we got lots of Firefly stuff next week. Since they're fans, we're actually drafting Firefly next week. There's our teaser. And we got some Firefly news, too. Anyways, this is my question. Jeff, would you give up How Great Avengers Is, the movie from Joss Whedon?
Oh.
Okay, so they can still make Avengers, but it was not good in this scenario. But
I would rather have no Avengers than a bad Avengers.
Nope, you're going to get a bad Avengers.
Instead,
but hold on, let me finish the question. Would you make Avengers bad if it would get you more seasons of Firefly?
Ooh.
That's a tough question.
Do I like Avengers
Enough.
More?
Because if it's a bad Avengers, it's going to do ripple effects on the Marvel Universe
the
movies.
whole universe movies, and we won't have a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that today when I was doing research on Firefly for next week.
Wow. I still have to go Firefly.
I do too.
And I'm sorry I didn't watch Firefly in its initial run. I became a brown coat way too late.
I saw 5 episodes of the first season of the first run, and then that was it because it was on Friday nights. And
yeah, well, that was the biggest problem is on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed until like 2 years after it was off the air.
Because we got some news on Firefly next week from the actual stars and some little tidbits from the creators. I found some stuff online.
Oh, I thought maybe they were like texting or tweeting you personally.
No, they were not tweeting me yet. Come on, Nathan Fielding.
Come on, do it, Nathan. Do it.
So there's your listener feedback.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Some exciting things. We were at Origins this past week.
Woohoo, Origins!
In Columbus, Ohio. If you haven't been there, do so. Just some background. Jeff and I were able to go as members of the media. Do want to thank Origins for extending that to us.
Yes, that was excellent of them.
So thank you very much. We had a great time. I'm not even a gamer and never played these type of games before, and I loved it. So even if you're not into it, go check it out. It was great. It's up in Columbus, Ohio. I think like 15 to 20,000 people went to it.
Yeah. Although if you are going, we will give you a hint. Get your badge before Saturday morning. Before 11 o'clock on Saturday, because the lines were ridiculously long.
I would say at least several hundred.
More than several, I would think.
In line, I'm talking just.
Yeah.
But it's great because they have breakout rooms where you can play board games. There's tournaments. I was impressed by it. There's up and down. It's a Columbus Convention Center, 2 floors of it. So, awesome venue. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not even a gamer, and I loved it. So. Yeah.
Well, as Blake will probably say, wait till Gen Con.
Yep, and we're going to Gen Con in August in Indianapolis. So if you're going, let us know. Amy's going to be there.
Yeah.
Jeff's going to be there. I'm going to be there. 40 going on 14 is going to be there. And Blake. So if you want to hang out with us, which who wouldn't?
I know. Who wouldn't? Why wouldn't you?
And you might, you know what? You hang out with us, you might get a free t-shirt at Gen Con.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, we have some.
Just maybe not for Amy.
Yeah, I don't know about Amy. No. She's shady. She likes that World Cup foosball.
Oh, that darn foosball.
Hey, look, it's 1-0. Yay.
Hey, we won.
Yeah, 2-1. That's a scoring mecca right there. Anyway, so
honestly, 2-1 sounds like a very good hockey or baseball score to me too.
Yes, but hockey there's constant movement. Anyways, going on. So, a couple things about Origins. A couple games we wanted to share. Let's see here. We did do a review for the Arkham Social Hour, so you can hear some of the news there, some of the stuff. I bought 2 games this year. They're more family-friendly games.
Yeah, they're games that you can play with your children. I understand why you would be looking at those games.
Because I got tired of playing Chutes and Ladders and Hi-Ho Cheerio. Which I heard you played with my son, Hi-Ho Cheerio. You loved that game, didn't you?
Yeah, oh man. I'm like, how can you play this more than once before your mind snapped?
And after he was done, let's play again. Ooh.
Let's play something else. Let's play Penguins now.
So, from Blue Orange, the creators, I bought Fast Track for $20. It's set up like a hockey board. It's all these things by Fast Track or by Blue Orange is made of wood. So they're wood-based games, which is great. I'll pay extra money for
a
games.
quality board. Yeah, the quality materials.
And it's set up like a hockey rink. You have the four rectangle, like a hockey rink.
It's a rectangle.
Yes.
It's set up like everything.
But the design is hockey. So you have these bands that you basically pull back and shoot 5 pucks. You each get 5 pucks on each side, and you have a small little hole that you have to get them through. And you just keep going back and forth. You don't take turns. You just keep going. And the goal is to get all the pucks on one person's side, and whoever gets all the pucks on that side loses. My son, who's young, he actually played it. He was having trouble, and then literally after spending a day playing it pretty much nonstop, he actually can beat me in it.
Now he's an expert.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little skill, but I mean,
it does.
But it's fun just because you have so many pucks going back and forth. They're just hitting each other. So it's a fun game. And then the other game is a penguin game called Pengoloo. Pengoloo.
I forgot what it was called. I just called it the penguin game.
Basically, it's memory. But each penguin sits on an egg, a different color, and you don't know what color it is because the eggs go inside the penguin. You lift them up. You have to get to 6, and you have this board for all the ones that you collect. The best part is, though, you roll these dice to figure out which colors you're getting: red, orange, green, purple, yellow, and blue.
Thank you for going through colors
I got
for
6.
us.
It was 6. Teal is not on there. Anyways, this is 60 dice, D6 dice. Anyways,
you don't need to say the word dice because that's what the D stands for.
Sorry, D6.
Anyways,
so you roll it, and if you get if you find a purple one, you put it on your little your board to show that you have it. He can actually steal it. You can steal from the other person if you know that they have a purple one.
If you know he has a purple one, you need a purple one, you can steal it from the other guy.
It goes back and forth. Really a fun game. So those are, and then we also played a tic-tac-toe game.
A tic-tac-toe version? Oh, what was that called?
I don't know, but it was like the Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah, there's you can stack them up, or you because when we were there, the guy was demoing them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, do you like this? Do you like tic-tac-toe or whatever?" And I'm like, "I can't lose at tic-tac-toe." He's like, "Oh, then let me show you this."
And did you lose?
I did not lose.
Nope. But you have different sizes of these nesting dolls, and you
put them in the spots, and you can cover up your opponent's thing to block a move. You can move it, if you put one down, and all of a sudden you need something to block another guy, you can move one of yours. So it's a different take on tic-tac-toe where you can actually lose.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're out there, you have kids, seriously, go to Blue, I think it's Blue/Orange Games. And they have some great kids games. If you're tired of playing the same ones, like I said, $20-$25 is the game prices. I think they even have some down to $15. But it's quality, craftsmanship. It's
quality
made
materials.
of wood. Yeah. So I don't have a problem paying $25 for a game if I know it's going to last. Especially with kids.
Yeah. So how's your Hi-Ho Cheerio game lasting?
He hasn't brought that out recently, thank God. Let's see here. Another one that from Split Second Games, 2 games. Quicksilver, which is an
airship race.
Yep. And you can play it.
Your dirigibles, your blimps, your zeppelins, whatever you want to call them.
You go around 2 sides of the boards. One has mountains and clouds, and
a high up in the altitudes, or you can do a lower altitude over a cityscape.
And you have checkpoints, and you try to get race basically with the dice. But the nice thing is you can put gun turrets on rock or on mountains. You slow down in the clouds. You can get damage in the rock mountains. You can attack the other team. And like I said, it's $50. I think you can get even as low as $40 on Amazon. I saw.
Okay.
But it's a fun game, and again, I hate to keep saying, but I don't have any experience as a gamer. I even liked it. And then the best is that the creators designed from Split Second Games, all their games are tested by their 8-year-old nephew. So it's even younger kids can play it.
Yeah, they design their games to try to appeal to different audiences. So yeah, families can play together, but you don't need to be a family to play them. You can still enjoy it with people of your age. It's not like as an adult who doesn't have kids, it's not a kids game, but it is a game that kids can play. Mm-hmm. You can play against adults. You can play against kids. They'll have different levels of difficulty that you can play. So they do a good job in designing. So I'll give a props to them.
And then they also did the game that we're most excited about And we haven't even played it yet. Hasn't been created yet completely.
Yeah, they're still in the creation process. They said they're still working on getting all the art finished because they got some nice art from talented artists, many of them some famous comic book artists who they've kind of given a free rein to do the art for the game.
Did you say the name? Paradox.
No, we did not say the name yet.
Paradox. It's kickstarting this summer. Take a look. This is the game that I've been thinking about for a week after, and I think this might be my first game I ever buy, because basically humans screwed up the time-space continuum.
Yes.
You have this planet, you have 16 planets that they found, and they're all being destroyed because of the time-space continuum. You play as a scientist trying to fix it all. And
but the only way to fix it is to continue using time traveling, which is also screwing things up. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to fix it while you're also screwing it up, so you have to find that balance.
And you're trying to get all 3 cards, the past, present, and the future cards for each planet to stabilize them. And you have actions. It's kind of like the way you get the actions to get the cards is you play like a Candy Crush game on the side, a physical one, where you try to get all the shapes in the same order and that. You have 2 moves, I think, per...
I think it's 2 moves. You try to get colors lined up, but you have to swap shapes type thing.
And then the best part is it's easy in terms of if you want to play just that end of it and get the 3 cards, it's past, present, future for each planet, you can do that. Or there's another like spinning wheel thing of the other planets that add another dimension to the game. Yeah. It is fun.
Yeah. It's in depth, and it's got, like I said, different degrees of difficulty. So if you only want to play a basic game, you can do that. And if you want it to be more difficult, they add a couple different layers to it. And I'm so looking forward to this kickstarting. I'm so looking forward to buying and playing. And I can't rave about this game enough.
Yes. And thank you to Split Second Games. They were great. They talked to us for 10 minutes about everything about it.
Yes.
Who did it. I think Tim Seeley's one of the artists on it.
I think they did mention his name.
Comic book artist. So thank you guys, Split Second Games. Their booth was great. Take a look, Paradox. And we'll be linking on our Facebook page once it starts kickstarting. Another one that we played a demo on was Escape. The Curse of the Temple.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
If you heard me talk about Mystery Mansion back in my childhood, it's basically like that. You're stuck in a temple, but it's cooperative, and you're trying to escape.
Yeah, it's cooperative, and you lay the board as you go on. And well, the one thing that's great about this game, they said it takes 10 minutes to play, and they are not lying.
You have a timer.
It's time limit, and it's a music soundtrack.
Yes.
It's 10 minutes. If you're not out of the
all of you have to be out.
Yeah, the entire team. If everyone isn't out by the time the timer is up, you lose.
And it's by Queen Games, $25. Actually, wasn't bad for the $25.
Oh no, the price was great. I know we didn't get a copy, and I'm kind of regretting that I didn't now.
Yeah, it's a fun game. So, like I said, you have 2 dice, and you're all rolling at the same time, and you can get frozen if you get or you have 6 dice, don't you?
5 dice. You're starting with 5 dice. Yeah.
5 dice each, and you roll. If you get a voodoo head, you get frozen, or you can get frozen.
Yeah, you can get frozen, so someone has to come to you to free you, type thing. It's a very interesting game mechanic, and if you've never played cooperative games before, it's a great example of them, and like I said, it's a 10-minute game, so you don't feel like you have to be stuck for an hour or 2 to get through this game.
And you're not playing cards or anything, it's just dice. So, and then finally, we played Helios.
Helios, I think.
Helios. I say it wrong every time.
Yeah, you do.
It's a Sun God game by Z-Man Games. Basically, Jeff, what type of game is it?
It's a Euro game.
I have no idea what that is, and the guy was shocked that I didn't know that.
Yeah, we sit down and we're like, oh yeah, we'd like to see this because this game looks interesting. And he's like, well, okay, this is your basic Euro game, so you guys know what that is. And Jason was like, no.
And he's like, really?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But no, Euro games, for those who don't know, it's pretty much whatever the mechanic is, your object is to get points through however the game is set up, and then at the end of the game you add up the points, whoever has the most points wins. So you might not know how many points exactly you have or your opponents have, so it's you play the whole game until it ends, and then you add everything up to find out who wins. usually different ways to score different points. I know something like Ticket to Ride is an incredibly popular Euro game.
Actually, the Arkham Social guys did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, I know they've talked about it. They've raved about it. Ticket to Ride is one of the better games out there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's a couple others whose names I either can't remember or can't pronounce.
And basically, you start with a landmass. You move the sun around the squares, and each land that you have, when you move the sun, it helps grow crops, and that you use to basically get points.
And the thing I liked about the game is there's many different ways to get points.
Yeah.
You get points through getting certain lands. You get points for building certain temples. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. So you never know where people stand until you get to the end.
Or if you're like me and you have no idea what you're doing, I broke the record for the weekend by getting the most points at the game so far.
Yeah, we played kind of a half game or a mini game, and it was like in 2 rounds of playing the game, like the guy was like, before we counted up our points, so it's like, well, one guy came through here and got like 30 some odd points, or I don't remember exactly what it was.
It was like 35 or something like that.
And he's like, that's impressive. So we start counting up our points. Jason got like over 40.
Got 43 points, bitches. And I was like, take yours, Euro game ass. Suck that. I don't know what a Euro game is, but I broke the record, bitches. It was a fun game. We were talking about this on our Arkham Social Hour. $60 was the price. Considering that you can get Quicksilver and probably Paradox for less than that, I thought it was expensive for what it was. It was a fun game. I would not spend $60 on it, especially when you get Escape for $25. You have you know, different games for that. So it was a fun game. Great. If you want to look at it, if you're into the Euro games, I'm sure you can probably find it a little bit cheaper online, but it was a fun game, just not $60 worth.
Yeah,
so,
well, I'll agree with that.
So there you go. There's your Origins wrap-up. Everything was great. Supposedly the guys that did quick thing, the creators of the Marvel card game that I think Des was talking about a couple weeks ago on his show, they're making a NHL hockey game next year, or this year for it, with the cards. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're doing it.
Oh, they'll do it. They'll have roles. These people are intelligent game writers.
So
there's one thing I want to throw in here.
Yes.
You know, especially after, you know, we were talking about those guys at Split Second games and how they're going to be kickstarting. When I got back, I got online and I went to Kickstarter and I was looking at other games that were going on. And, oh God, now I can't. There was a game I was reading about and I was impressed with this game that I actually backed it up on Kickstarter.
Wow.
And, oh God, now I can't remember the name of it. Now I'm trying to get my computer here to work.
Talk amongst yourself.
Talk amongst here it is. It's Scrapyard Empire.
Okay. I saw this.
Did you?
Yeah, I was on Kickstarter last night, and I was doing the same thing, just kind of look at what's on Kickstarter, and I did see that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw it, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, this looks cool. It's a strategic card game for 1 to 4 people. And that's another thing I love about it, is they have a solo version of the game that's already written into the rules. So, you know, you can play one or multiplayer, and that's one thing I really liked about it. It's kind of a deck building game where you got all these cards and you're competing against the people if you're playing the multiplayer, and you're trying to build these inventions. I think the whole point of it is, well, the storyline that they have to make games have is, you know, this real rich inventor or whatever passes away with no heirs, so he puts up this game that the people who can make his inventions will then win his fortune. So you all kind of take on a persona, or you get a character card, and you're trying to beat each other to building inventions using the stuff in the scrapyard. And it's a card-based game. The art on the cards is pretty impressive, and it's a steampunk motif.
Ooh, steampunk.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily a huge steampunk person, but it is a little intriguing. And so I saw this, so I decided, you know, I'm going to go ahead and back this up. It's being put out by Gallant Games, based out of New Jersey, and then they got a couple of you know, stretch goals, if you're familiar with Kickstarter. Like, the more money they get, the more stuff they can pump into it. So they're close to being funded. But I would love to see them meet some of these stretch goals. So they've got about a month to go. So the fact that they've got a month to go and they're almost funded is excellent.
It is kind of funny to look at Kickstarter, like some of the stuff they're doing, like TVs and movies, like some of the shows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
5 hours left, 0%.
Yeah, some of the stuff people try to kickstart is a little ridiculous, but there's a lot of stuff on there. And I first heard about Kickstarter about 2 years ago, and I know I'm usually a little late in the game on some of these things, but I saw some stuff that, I thought, oh man, this is great. This would be great to be funded, and this crowdsourcing is finding a great way of funding things. So,
and personally, I think since we haven't had a hidden gems in a while, I think next week or next couple weeks we should do Kickstarter hidden gems.
That's a good idea.
Look at that.
Yeah, there was thinking on the fly.
Just to help some Kickstarters out.
Yes, but like I said, I was really liking this game, so I thought I would come on. I was going to maybe thought of throwing out the hidden gems, but we were talking about these other games, so I had to throw it out here. But there we go. If you are a gamer or you like playing games, look at it. If it intrigues you, go ahead and help them out. So I thought I'd give them a shout out because I want it. I backed it. I want other people to back it so we reach stretch goals so I get more. So that's it.
Okay. Next thing on News of the Geek, let's get into some of the other stuff here. And also thank you to Origins for everything. Let's see here. Ain't It Cool News claims that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 has been pushed back from June 10th, 2016 to 2017.
2016 seems to be pretty early date for them to have picked in the first place.
Supposedly, a couple reasons why this could have happened is that Spider-Man 2 did not get the response that Sony may have hoped for. Also reports that Mark Webb could be working on another film for Fox. Let's see here. Sony even stated a while back, we're expanding the universe so that we have Spider-Man movies every year, whether that's Venom, Sinister Six.
Spider-Man related, yeah. Well, every year might be pushing it to. I mean, honestly, every other year seems to be a little fast, which I don't mind. I mean, once every 3 years for like a certain character seems to be a good time schedule. So, I mean, 2 years later for Amazing Spider-Man 3 honestly seemed too early for me. But
maybe we'll watch it by then.
Yeah, we still have to see it. So.
Let's see. Number 2, Bleeding Coal's Rich Johnson. He's done a couple good reliable comic book rumors. Supposedly has uncovered a mysterious new DC Comics project that he's dubbing the DC Band-Aid. This is for the comic books. Next April is the 30th anniversary of the multiverse-shattering Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the publisher's 3 weekly titles, Batman Eternal, The New 52 Future's End, and Earth 2 World's End, are all set to end in March 2015.
Okay.
Because of that, it's been suggesting that something big is coming in 10 months' time. What that is supposedly consists of 20 two-part stories plus a weekly book running through the 2 months, totaling 48 books in all. Dear God. He says various DC characters from all different realities going head-to-head, pretty much inspired by Injustice, Gods Amongst Us, the video game.
Okay.
And will include pre-52 versions of various DC characters and their new 52 counterparts.
Wow, I'm not sure if I like that idea.
It's being planned well in advance by Dan Didio, whatever.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Marie Javins. And in order for DC to keep publishing books during their move from New York to Burbank, California at this time, because I forgot they are switching next year.
I hadn't heard. Oh, so they're moving out of New York.
Yeah. A lot of it is to do with the movies, so they can be closer to it.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
None of this has been confirmed yet, but Bleeding Coal has been right in a lot of these cases. So basically, it's a new Crisis on Infinite Earth. I did a little research, and supposedly they may be keeping some of the pre-52s now into the new 52 after this is done. I think it's a mess. I think, you know what? You did your new 52, stick with it.
I think they were hoping for a better turnout, and there are the people like me who pretty much have given up on DC books because of 52.
But I think it's good. If you do this, if they do this, I feel like the guys that are sticking around from the new 52, because I actually like the new 52. You know, whatever, it happened. I accept it, moved on. I like some of the books better than before. But my problem is, okay, so now you got these new, or these past 52 characters the old DC character is coming back. And it's like, okay, well, if they're meshing with the New 52, how do I keep this all straight? And do I even care? I just spent 5 years trying to get these New 52. So now you're pissing off the guys that actually like the New 52 DC books.
And I don't know. I know the point of doing the New 52 was to bring on new readership. Maybe they discovered that there wasn't a whole lot of new readership and they wanted to appease the old readership.
I mean, let's be real. There's, 500,000 to a million comic book readers out there.
I don't know the numbers, so I can't tell you that.
When Graphic Novice does reports, I mean the number one book is 120,000 per month. Yeah. So, and obviously you got more than 120,000 people, but I mean you add it up, it's it's such a niche market. The movies help, but they're not. It's they're not expanding the comic book reading base.
Yeah. The people seeing the movies and love seeing these movies are. It doesn't seem like the comics are becoming okay. I love the movie. I'm going to the comic. It'll help. It'll help with some, and obviously the movies in themselves are making money. But
supposedly it's not helping the monthly sales. It's helping the graphic novels at the things.
And that's great because that's the way to get into it.
Correct.
I mean, the grouped books. What word am I looking for?
Graphic novels.
One graphic novel. It's pretty much a synonym of graphic novels.
Yeah,
but. Oh, well, whatever.
We're playing Password. Sounds like $25,000 pyramid. Things that your car does. Let's see. Things that a chef makes.
Wow. Well, I'm trying to figure out what clue I would give you.
Things at a sex shop. Things in an S&M movie. Things in an SNL movie.
Wow.
Am I doing any of these right?
No.
Damn it, Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery was never on Pyramid.
Who was the host? Oh, Dick Van Dyke.
It was Dick Clark for the longest time.
That's who it was.
I know the last
That's
host...
why I care about Dick Clark.
The last host was Donny Osmond.
Okay, moving on. Per Finky.com, she was on Deadline and she left, and she's got a little piss and vinegar on her. She is full of it. Not bad ways, I'm just saying she is feisty. She said she opened up a new website, and this is what she's been sitting on for a while. DC Update, and this is rumors, but Kevin Smith on Hollywood Babylon this past week confirmed this is what he saw too from insiders in DC.
Oh.
So he said this is exactly what he heard.
Did Ben Affleck give him the inside scoop?
He didn't say who, but Ralph Garman's like, you've been sitting next to me for all this time, you haven't told me this. He's like, I can't tell you. And he's like, oh, but you just agreed with this.
I can agree, I just can't spread.
So that's a good thing if even outside sources are doing this or confirming it. May 2016, Batman vs Superman the movie. We all know that. July 2016, Shazam.
Not interested.
Yeah. Possibly The Rock is in that. So we'll see. Christmas 2016, Sandman with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, really?
Which we've talked about that
Oh,
before.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that he was associated with that. Sandman I'm intrigued with. Even though it's a book I've never really read, I'm intrigued with Sandman.
It's part of their Vertigo line, DC's Vertigo line. May 2017, Justice League.
Yes.
July 2017, which is only 2 months later, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's going to be in Justice League and get her own that quickly. That seems to be pretty quick.
Christmas 2017, this is one I like. Flash and Green Lantern. Team up.
A team up of Flash and Green Lantern, and that's the thing, it's like, are they going to go with what they're throwing out on the CW network?
I don't know. And Green Lantern, they said, is not Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, it's Green Lantern, not Green Arrow.
Yeah, not Green Arrow, it's Green Lantern.
Sorry, I read that wrong. Oh, yeah, the Flash and Green Lantern. They based on maybe on the old comic book, the team ups they did, the team up books they did.
So they said it's probably going to be Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man of Steel 2 in May 2018. Finally, Man of Steel gets a sequel.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be Batman vs. Superman.
Batman v Superman was supposed to be the sequel to Man of Steel, but now it's a different movie and not necessarily a sequel. I know they were just talking about that on Musings of a Geek, their latest episode. So,
and then there's been talk of Metal Men and Suicide Squad movie for 2016, but that has actually fell off the schedule now. Let's see here. This is also from NikkiFinky.com. If you're wondering why Batman vs. Superman was delayed, it wasn't the script or any of the actors. This is from the site. Fact that the picture will act as a launching pad for Justice League. According to her source, like Marvel's The Avengers, there will be cameos of superheroes for future installments, including Cyborg and Flash, which we already knew Cyborg. Yeah. Didn't know about Flash yet, which... If they haven't cast Flash because everything else is broke on who it is, I wonder if it is CW Flash.
It might be.
Green Lantern, not played by Ryan Reynolds, and Aquaman will all be seen in the Justice League movie as well. Yeah. Let's see here. Then next thing is Jason Momoa. Whatever.
Whatever.
Best known as the warrior and head of the
Dothraki.
In Game of Thrones. I was going to say it correctly.
Oh, were you?
No. Is set to play Aquaman in the Man of Steel sequel, which is in 2018. I'm wondering. I bet you
think that's the Batman versus Superman. He's the well, that's like I said, the Batman versus Superman was delayed because they wanted to sign all these actors and sign them to long-term multi-picture deals. Mm-hmm. So to get everything in order. Especially, somebody like Jason Momoa, who they're now announcing, or I don't know if they officially announced, but pretty much it's been leaked.
But he's kind of being a dick about it because people were asking him, and he's kind of like getting mad at people asking him. And then he sent a Twitter picture out of him holding the Aquaman trident and flipping everybody off.
I did not hear that. Oh, I kind of like it, though.
And that's according to HitFix that he's Aquaman. So there you go. Yeah. Let's see here. From Paul, this is actually from listener extension.
A listener feedback that makes news of the geek.
He sent this to me. The next X-Men film will be set 10 years after X-Men Days of Future Past in the 1980s.
Well, they knew it was going to be the 80s, but they specifically said 1983 is what the big news was. They set a specific year.
So, and actually, I guess we should go back to the DC stuff. Anything you want to add on that? Anything exciting? Any of those movies that you're excited about? Sorry to jump around.
Oh, no, that's fine. Honestly, I was kind of excited that Jason Momoa is cast as Aquaman.
Okay.
I think I might be one of the very few people who are excited about Aquaman on the big screen. But
I'm excited about the Flash and Green Lantern team up.
Yeah.
I would much rather have Flash and Green Arrow team up, but we'll see that on CW.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Ooh, that would be good too.
Yeah, those are the books I was talking about. The run of Green and Green. They were best friends. So I'm
excited about Wonder Woman. That's kind of fun.
I am excited about the Wonder Woman. Although just 2 months or so after the Justice League movie seems to be throwing everything all at once. That's what you probably need to span out. But anyway, they're at least getting a Wonder Woman movie together, according to this rumor. So I can't argue that.
Apologize if I just hit the mic. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, and finally, number 5, new rumors coming to us from the site makingstarwars.com and /film.com. Sources have heard Star Wars Episode 7. The villains being referred to are Jedi hunters.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. Villains are dressed in black, some in helmets that hunt Jedi for the Empire. Let's see here. These Jedi hunters sounded quite a bit like the Inquisitor from, I guess, the new animated series Star Wars Rebels, which is set 5 years before New Hope. So I guess they're kind of spawning off that 30 years later. Sources weren't familiar with characters, but once it was explained to them, they agreed over the similarities. Let's see here. These hunters use lightsabers, and they had the impression the Jedi were fighting this group for a very long time. Okay. So there you go. They also claim David Oyelowo.
I have no... Oyelowo? I can't pronounce that one, so...
Who portrayed the head of the biotechnology company Genesis in Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I haven't seen it.
Nope. He'll be voicing one of the 3 villains in the film.
Ooh, that means you won't see his face.
Another source says... How do you say her name? Lupita
Nyong'o.
Adam Driver and David Oyelowo are making up the cast of villains in the film, and they're the Jedi Hunters. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. I like that.
Here's an idea.
Wow, they're
don't
getting
kill
me
them off away.
Oh, yeah. You mean like what they did with Darth Maul?
Yeah. And then they brought him back as a spider-like creature in the Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Yeah, yes. I haven't seen that.
I just heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that about a year ago, that he was a spider-like creature, and I thought... Yeah, bad move.
Yeah.
But, Darth Maul should have been, the second evil bad throughout the prequels until Darth Vader takes over. They kind of killed him off to bring in...
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku. What was his Darth
Worst name ever.
Yeah, Count Dooku.
Darth Sidious?
No, Darth Sidious
is the Emperor.
Is the Emperor. Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah.
It's a bad Darth name, even.
And I think
Christopher Lee is cool. I like the fact that they got him to do it, but that whole character should have been Darth Maul.
I like when Anakin beheaded him. That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
And
that was quick and not expected either.
And we were talking on the drive up to Origins. What I was telling you is Darth Maul. What they should have done is he should have killed Qui-Gon in episode 1.
Agree.
It would have been a tie or something between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. He gets away. Episode 2. He comes back.
What they should have done was cut off his hand, because that's a Jedi thing to do.
That would be kind of cool. Or something. I mean, seriously, you have something. Darth Maul comes back for the second one. Makes some issues, Third one, he comes back, and that's when Obi-Wan kills him.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You had him build a story arc because he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he was, pretty well silent character, which was kind of made him cool that he didn't say anything.
But and he had the dual lightsaber.
Yeah.
How do you fuck this up?
And he had Ray Park playing him. Ray Park is,
Toad.
He was good as Toad.
Toad is awful
Toad
character.
wasn't that good. Yeah.
I always think Toad the Wet Sprocket. They're decent.
They're good. They're good.
Oh man, George Lucas. God dang it. Anyways, back to episode 7, the Jedi Hunters. They say Lupita might be wearing yellow contact lenses in the film. Let's see here.
Evil. Yes.
Villains are said to be characterized by black and chrome, with troopers in similar black and chrome uniforms. Let's see here.
Vader look.
They said the sense is that these guys are like the General Grievous's Magna Guards from Revenge of the Sith.
No, ignore that. Think of them as extensions of Vader or something.
Let's see here. Supposedly the Jedi Hunters is the reason there is no New Republic after Return of Jedi. They're saying there's no New Republic. Another source has claimed to have been on set for a sequence in which we learn that Jedi Hunters worship the Sith and want to resurrect them.
Yes, go for it. Woo!
Their mandate was to protect the Sith at all costs and ensure their survival. And then finally, lots of news about Star Wars.
Blah, 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 blah.
Source also believes that Luke Skywalker has been fighting Stop This for the last 30 years of his life, but is outnumbered now, tired, and in need of help. Which would make sense because now he's trying to get the guy from Attack the Block, which we talked about last week. The guy that's the actor that played in Attack the Block. I can't think of his name now.
So now I'm forgetting what the fuck Attack the Block is.
The gangs that join up and against aliens.
Okay.
But anyways, the main character.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The main character is in episode 7.
Okay.
Who's the good guy?
He's the new good guy. Well, I mean, Luke should have been recruiting new Jedi this whole time, but...
And supposedly they resurrect the Sith in next film, and here's a big spoiler. Supposedly Luke dies in episode number 8. Or 9, I'm sorry, in 9.
Well, that's not a huge spoiler. I mean...
He should die.
Han's going to die in episode 7.
Yeah, so. I think so.
Especially since Harrison Ford got injured on the set, and he's out for 8 weeks. He's out for 8 weeks, so we're not sure what's going to go on there.
So there's your News of the Geek.
That music can only mean it's time for Plotline.
If you're new to the show, what took you so long? Basically, Jeff and I get sent a movie from our listeners. So tweet us at Bad Ideas Podcast or on Facebook, History of Bad Ideas, and give us a movie that we have never seen or heard of, and we try to figure out the plotline and who stars in it. Doug gives us this week's Minuscule, Valley of the Lost Ants. And just to let you know, next week when Bob and Amy are here, we actually do have another one from Bob, a different Bob, listener. So we got some good ones coming, guys. So this is Minuscule, Valley of the Lost Ants. What do you think it is, Jeff?
Oh.
And we can agree to...
It's gotta be a horror movie. It's gotta be.
Okay.
Since it's called Minuscule, it can't be giant ants like in They or Them or whatever it was called. But I would think explorers will stumble into the Valley of the Lost Ants. and pretty much struggle to get out without getting eaten alive by these ants. That's my guess.
Okay. I don't think it is a horror movie.
Okay.
I'm going different.
Children's cartoon?
No, not children's cartoon. I'm going to say a children's camp. Let's see here. Valley of the Lost Ants. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say it is a movie that takes place in the fashion world, with a model trying to make her way into the modeling world.
Wow.
Up and coming. I don't know why. I'm just going with it.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
I keep thinking of Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, that's probably a lot of drugs involved.
Yes, and she's trying to make her dream of being a fashion model on not Cosmo. What's the other magazine?
Vogue.
There you go.
Vogue.
Yeah, one of. Oh, sorry, there, Mr. Model.
I watch America's Next Top Model and
You do?
No.
Oh.
Project Runway.
My wife watches that a lot. I saw Devil Wears Prada. Does that count?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I love Devil Wears Prada. It actually was a very good movie.
But
But anyways,
Hathaway can't be bad.
that's right. So you have this model try to make it up in the world, and she finally breaks in, and she finally gets her big break, but it cost her long-term relationship with her boyfriend. So that's the story.
Yay.
That's the movie. I'm going with it.
You're going with
Who
it?
does yours star?
Let's see. Horror movie. Clint Howard is in it somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Give me someone else.
Let's see. No, I was thinking Anthony Perkins, but that's
Dear
kind of
God.
tough to.
Vincent Price.
I'll go Anthony Perkins before I'll go Anthony Perkins.
Okay. My model movie. As much as I would like to say Elizabeth Berkley, maybe I'll go with Lark Voorhees.
I'd be impressed if Lark Voorhees
was always
got
more
any.
attractive.
If she got any work though after that, I would be impressed.
I'm going to go with who is Lois Lane in Superman, the original Superman?
Margot Kidder.
There you go.
You're
I'm
throwing
going Margaret Kidder.
All right.
What's the real movie?
All right. Plot summary for Minuscule: Valley of the Lost Ants.
Okay.
It's a 2013 movie.
Not going to be Margaret Kidder. Or Anthony Perkins.
In a peaceful forest, the remains of a picnic trigger a ruthless war between rival ant colonies.
Is this a cartoon?
Obsessed with gaining control of the same prize, a box of sugar cubes.
This has got to be a cartoon.
Can't even pronounce this word. I'm starting to feel like you. AMIDST. Amidst this struggle, a young ladybug befriends a black ant and helps him save his people
Why is it always
from
gotta be
the
about-
horrible red ants.
Why is it always got to be
Oh my
race?
god, it's a race war. Oh. Oh, man.
And to quote Wesley Snipes from Passenger 57, always bet on black. Cartoon, right?
I'm assuming it's a cartoon.
If not, it would be better. It would be like they dressed up as ants like the Tick, like Patrick Warburton.
Nothing actually here says cartoon. I see a picture.
Actors. Who's in it?
Let's see. Are there no actors?
Probably.
I'm not finding a cast anywhere on IMDb.
Doug?
It is from France and Belgium.
Oh, okay. Are they actors or is it the countries?
The countries. Well, they have filming locations. Like, I'm not seeing anything about a cast.
Doug, tweet us or send a Facebook message about who is in this damn movie.
And why do you know it? Oh, here we go. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I see. Director David Soren, stars Ryan Reynolds, Paul Giamatti. No, wait, I'm sorry. That's Turbo.
Okay, moving on.
That's under the people who also liked. I hate when... Oh, damn it, IMDb. I am only looking at this movie. I don't care what other people who liked this also liked. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
We don't know who's in it.
Okay, move on. Next plot line. Fuck this segment. We're out.
Fuck it, we're gone.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
Thank you, Marty.
Box office bombs. We actually have one. We talked about it before, but we're going to add it again because I fucking hate him now. Blend It. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore. Nathan Fillion talking. And Adam Sandler fuck him, made $1.6 million this week for a total of $40 million on a $40 million budget. So
they made their budget back, so that means more Adam Sandler movies to come.
It still makes me feel better that it did not hit even $50 million so far.
But what did hit $50 million so far?
Well, let's talk about this. Jeff gets beer for me because
you guessed 80.
22 Jump Street, the box office, top 5 of the box office for June 13th through the 15th. 22 Jump Street made $60 million in its opening week on an unknown budget. It's got favorable reviews.
I would hope they got their budget back, because I'm hoping it didn't cost them more than $60 million to make 21.
180.
22 Jump Street, they cost them $80 million.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no insider knowledge.
If that's true, that means Tate's is making too much money.
You are good friends with Tate's.
Yeah. He better send some of that money love over this way. That's all I'm saying.
Number 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2. You failed me. You have failed me for the last time.
You said they'd make 80, but
they made 50 in its opening week on an unknown budget, which is probably over $100 million easy. Kind of disappointing. But hopefully it has enough legs at last. I'm actually seeing that this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But did not make the 80, I thought. So it's a little soft opening for me here, guys.
Maybe worldwide it did.
It did. It hit over 100 worldwide, I think.
Okay.
What was number 3, Jeff?
Maleficent.
Made $19 million. Total of $163.5 million on a $180 million budget.
So they'll make their budget back.
It's made tons of money worldwide, too.
Worldwide will probably do it, yep.
Edge of Tomorrow fell to number 4 this week.
Oh, down one spot.
Made $16 million. This has got to be the last week it's made double digits, right?
I don't know. Honestly, like you said, it's number 4, and the number 5 movie was ahead of it last week, so that had a big fall off.
Edge of Tomorrow made $16 million, total of $56.5 million on a $178 million budget.
And that's the thing, is I'm actually kind of intrigued to see this movie, but the problem is their entire advertising campaign is come see the new Tom Cruise movie. Yeah. And they need to stop advertising or centering their advertising around Tom Cruise. They need to say, come see this great movie about this that has Tom Cruise in it.
I would rather have them say, come see this new Emily Blunt movie.
You're right. Honestly, I think that might drive more people to the theaters.
Did you know she turned down the role of Agent Peggy Carter?
I did not.
And she also turned down or got denied Black Widow. The rumor is she turned down Black Widow because her husband, John Krasinski, lost out in the final round of Captain America.
Oh, poor choice. If you were offered Black Widow and didn't take it because your husband didn't get a movie, that's poor decision making.
So John Krasinski would have been interesting as Captain America. It would have been
interesting, but I think they went the right way.
I agree. I think Chris Evans knocks out of the ballpark, but and then number 5, The Fault in Our Stars made $15.5 million. It was number 1 last week.
Yes.
Still made a total of $81 million nationwide on a $12 million budget.
Yeah.
Well played. Golf clap. And then Chef update.
Chef
was, I think, number 8 this week.
Okay.
Chef made $2.2 million, $14 million total.
It's not slipping. It's staying constant.
And I keep seeing trailers. I see more trailers like a feel-good movie. I was like, now I want to go see this.
We need to track it down and see it. We really do.
There's a lot of movies I need to see.
Well, yeah. I think Amazing Spider-Man is first on, well, at least my list.
X-Men's first one on mine.
X-Men, but
let's see here. Upcoming for June 20th, Jersey Boys, directed by Clint Eastwood. And Think Like a Man 2 with Kevin Hart open up this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
2. Oh, that's funny. TOO.
Yeah, I love
it.
Like a Man 2. We need to talk to Andrew and Justin from Best of the Worst. Whenever a sequel has 2 TOO in it, it's not going to be good.
Nope, not at all.
They go to Vegas.
Yay.
And they have competing bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Oh, yeah, I have seen the
looks exciting.
for it. Yeah.
And then Jersey Boys, which I didn't even know was they making into a motion picture until this week.
Yeah, I knew that was actually in the pipeline for quite a while. Yep. They were making a big deal about, big musical that got a lot of raves on Broadway.
I wanted to see it when it came here to our small towns, but did not get a chance to. So there you go. There's your box office news.
The music that makes everyone feel good. Not only is it catchy, it means it's Nathan Fillion news.
Nathan Fillion talking. He has a cat.
I heard.
He had a cat.
He had a cat.
He's from Canada, the fun fact of the week.
That's it? The fun fact he's from Canada? I thought that was an obvious fact.
A lot of people are actually.
Yeah, there's probably a couple million from Canada.
I was thinking a couple hundred. And ironically, only one Edmonton Oilers fan. Anyways, let's see here. We're rebuilding. But not everyone describes it like Nathan Fillion does. He says it's a cultural mosaic.
Canada?
Yes.
Canada is a cultural mosaic.
Not Edmonton, but everything around.
Everything around Edmonton.
Actually, I wouldn't mind going to Edmonton.
I know nothing about Edmonton other than the Oilers are there.
Yes. Well, I think that's a minor league team. Triple A league.
I honestly,
junior hockey.
I do want to sit here and dog the Oilers just to stick it to nickel on Graphic Novice. But the problem,
he likes Edmonton. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The problem is that I'm giving him some ammunition here. When was it the AHL that they originally came from? When the NHL absorbed them, they absorbed 4 of the 5 teams. The one team that didn't get absorbed and bought out was the Cincinnati Stingers.
Damn you, Nickel!
Which is another reason to hate Edmonton for that. But we wanted to be absorbed into the NHL, but they said we'll take 4 of you and we'll just piss on Cincinnati. Yeah, you got to turn it on first. It wasn't a joke. You don't get a rim shot for that.
I was trying to do the sad music.
If you can do womp womp, you need to figure that out. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Stupid Casio. Now we got a special segment just for Dez. The special Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops in the comic books, is awesome news. Dun 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 dun. I'm awesome. Dun 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 dun. He's a god.
Oh, he's not a god. Come on. I mean, that was
dated
John
a god.
Noble.
He dated a god.
Well, for those of you who
Goddess.
who haven't been following Jason on Twitter here,
Not just me.
well, not just you, but or our podcast network, the Arkham Social Hour has a running bit segment. That's the word I was looking for. A running segment. 97 reasons why Scott Summers is a douche.
He's not.
And those people who don't know, Scott Summers is the name of Cyclops from the X-Men.
Yes.
In the comics, he's pretty divisive character because people either love him or hate him.
A lot of people hate him.
And I'm kind of on Dez's bandwagon for agreeing with his douchiness.
Shut the front door. Get the hell out of here.
But I'm letting Jason go ahead and give a counterpoint as to why he is awesome and not a douche.
I love Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops. He snagged both Jean Grey and Emma Frost. Nuff said.
All right, Dez, come back.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, how you like that one?
Yeah, all right.
Shout outs, promos, Origins again. Thank you.
Yes, we want to give a big thank you to Origins.
You guys rock.
Yeah, they gave us the press passes so we can go and explore and report to you great listeners. And they put on a hell of a show.
And thank you to Erin in the media relations, public relations for Origins. She helped us out a lot.
She was great.
And then find us on Stitcher.
Download us on iTunes.
Everything. Stitcher. Hey, Stitcher is even on our swag, on our T-shirts. Download us on iTunes and Stitcher.
Yes, there you go.
So, and then we're on Musings Geek Network.
Musings of Geek Network.
Libsyn.com.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere.
You can find us all over the interwebs.
Yes. So, and also, if you go to our Facebook page, we have a link up. If everybody can, just go to our Facebook page, History of Bad Ideas. I know we talk about this a lot, but we're in the running for Best Podcast of the Month. We need some votes. Go to our Facebook page. We have a link on there. If you guys can take a look at it, that would be great. Yes. It is at Podcastland, podcastland.com.
Yes.
All it takes is you go on, you look for us, or you vote for us, put your email in. They send you a confirmation email. You just hit yes. That you want to make the vote, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. They don't keep your email for solicitation or anything. Just send it out there. So please vote for us.
Yes, and I like that. You might not like getting the email, but that's the way they make sure people aren't stuffing the ballot box.
Correct.
1 vote per email, and you send it out. Just so you're just not computerizing or sitting there all day just clicking on. So yeah, if you like us and want to take the extra 2 minutes it might take to find it, vote, and respond, we would appreciate it.
And thank you for listening. And also, if you do like our show, tell friends and family. Spread the word. That's how it gets bigger, guys.
Yes.
So we're all in this together. So
I was just about to sing some Billy Joel or something. But, on that note, I think we might move on to our top 5.
let's go. Keeping with our top theme of the week, top 5 this week. Top 5 tabletop games. And this can be board games, card games.
Pretty much, it could be party games, anything that pretty much excludes video games.
Correct.
We already did our video game one.
Oh, top 4 of my 5 are video games.
No, there aren't.
No. So, top 5 tabletop. You want to go first, Jeff, with number 5?
I can go first. My number 5 is pretty much currently the new game that we've been playing all the time now. I'm throwing out Cards Against Humanity.
That was an audible mention for me.
All right. Well, then I'm glad you saved your honorable mentions.
I did.
I'm throwing out Cards Against Humanity because, there's many hours of laugh riots. And I was a friend of mine who I met up at Origins this past weekend was asking me if I've played it. I'm like, oh, yeah, we've played it. And, one of the things that is some of the great play that we've had is the make your own cards. Mm-hmm. We've had some good fun at
my expense.
At your expense, other people's expense. I know.
Mostly my expense, my previous girlfriends.
Yeah, some of the people Jason has previously dated have made their own cards. But we don't need to get into that over the pod waves here. But I was like, I know a lot of people have probably who listen to this have played it, and there is it's pretty much an apples to apples for people going to hell.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so
it fits us pretty well.
Yes, it does. So that is my number 5.
And the sad thing is, every time we've played, my wife, who is like, always says that we're so wrong, and she has won.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she?
When she's played with us.
She knows how to play the game. She studies us.
I think she has a dark heart that she just doesn't tell us about.
She knows. She can read us. She knows who's going to pick what and how to.
She does play the player.
Yes.
She does.
Well, that's how you got to play this game.
My number 5 is Trivial Pursuit. Is that your number 1?
That's my number 1. Lord, I didn't know.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
I love Trivial Pursuit.
Why have we never played?
I don't know. I don't know why we've never played.
Well, we're going to be playing now.
It's a little late now. I can't play tonight.
Not exactly right now, but we're going to play. We're going to make this a weekly event.
Yeah, I love Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, I love Trivial Pursuit. I've got like every Genus edition they ever printed.
That would be Genus.
No, Genus. I didn't say genius like other people. It's Genus.
Yeah, I got tons of Trivial Pursuits. 80s, 90s, Star Wars. I got all of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I love Trivial Pursuit.
I do, too. I love it so much, it's my number 1.
And I always like playing against the douchebags that always, after you read the answer, oh, I knew that. It's really? You didn't? Why didn't you answer that? I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, that's the biggest problem I have with the game is I don't find enough people who are willing to play against me anymore.
Oh, yeah. I would play.
Oh, man. It's on. It is so on.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
I mean, hell, a lot of times, and I know it's sounding like I'm bragging, but I'm really good at trivia, and I really love it.
You are good at trivia. You do the contest at the bars.
I play bar trivia a couple times a week, so I mean, it's one of my passions that I love to do.
And your team has actually won tournaments, too.
Oh, we've won tournaments.
Trivia
we've won some money.
Humble brag. Hashtag humble brag.
Humble brag. That's it. That's a humble brag. But, that's my number 1, so let's go back to your number 4 now, Jay.
Beyond Balderdash.
I agree. That kind of makes an honorable mention for me.
Love Beyond Balderdash. Basically, they give you like a movie title, and everybody, it's a party game, and everyone else writes down what they think the title is,
or
and
what the plot of the movie based on the title. Kind of like what our
plot lines
is.
And then the person that has the card has to pick the best one, or
and it's not just movie titles.
It's history.
There'll be famous people, or what's this person done.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be dates. What famous thing happened on this date? Just definitions. The original Balderdash was just definitions. You give a word, you give a definition. So there's like a couple different ways, and you as the person can pick which one you want to do on each card.
And I usually pick I usually write the most demented thing.
yeah. Jason's been yelled at for some stuff. Jason's got other people yelled at because he writes things to get other people in trouble.
I do, and it's great.
He writes it, it's like, oh, people know this guy's this way, so I'll write it from his perspective, so he'll get in trouble, not me.
Sorry, Lou. Anyways, so there's my number 4, Beyond Balderdash. Who haven't play it?
Yes.
What's your number 4, Jeff, since we know number 1?
Yes, you already ruined my number 1. My number 4 is one that I know is not on your list.
Okay, what is it?
That's Magic the Gathering.
Oh, it was an honorable non-mention.
Yeah. the best you could say about that is you watched your neighbors through their window play it.
Yes. Going up there to the second floor, there's a window that overlooks my neighbor's dining room room, and every week the kids would play Magic. I was like, oh, Magic night.
And it is a game I probably haven't played in years. But I was on, humble brag again, I was on the original bandwagon, when the game first came out.
I wasn't born yet.
Yes, you were. It was only the early 90s. You were alive.
So Amy was 3.
I don't even know if she was that old. But
God, we're old.
Yes, but Magic the Gathering, the card game was created by Richard Garfield. The way it's played, it honestly shows a lot of thought behind the way it played. I know people will make fun of it's you're playing dueling wizards or something. I mean, that's just the theme of the game, but the dynamic on how the cards play against each other. You got your 5 colors that you use. And
you want me to list the colors? Because I did that earlier on the dice.
Yeah, you list the colors earlier. Go ahead, list the colors in Magic.
Fuchsia, beige, sand, yellow, and urine.
You got none of them correct.
Okay, so that's good.
White, black, red, green, and blue.
Yay, you did colors.
Yay!
Yeah, it comes back to bite you there.
But each color has strengths, weaknesses against different colors, and I mean, it actually is a pretty strategic game. I enjoy playing it. It's been a while since I have played it because not a lot of people I know in this town enjoy playing it. So it's pretty much just when I get to hang out with those college friends who I learned to play the game with. When I get together with them is probably when I do play it.
Involves a lot of strategery.
It is a very strategery type game.
So is it my turn or your turn?
I think I go number 3.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Which is also not on your list is
be
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no,
that's not on your list either. And when I say Dungeons and Dragons, it's pretty much the generic all fantasy role playing games. Regardless of system, different people have different systems. D&D is the most popular, so I'll put that there. But
with the D20.
Well, yeah, use the D20.
Yeah.
You also use a D10, D8, D12.
I use
D4.
the D12 in Trivial Pursuit.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's really great.
You could jump right around.
Yeah, the problem is when you win the wedges, though, the mage comes down and takes them away, posts a spell. It's all complicated.
Oh, you suck. But I don't think I need to really explain why I love fantasy role play. Or do
you and Blake in 2 weeks can 2 or 3 weeks whenever he's on next.
Blake is. I mean, we kind of covered that the last time Blake was on, and we'll probably cover more the next time he's invited back.
I can't wait.
Yay!
Get ready.
So D&D is my number 3.
Number 3 is not on your list. It's from 1985. I had this growing up. Uh-oh. What?
Oh, I just know what it's going to be.
What?
I think.
Go ahead.
The Mystery Mansion?
No!
Oh.
I should have put Mystery Mansion. I forgot.
Oh, I thought that's the one you always talk about as a kid. But...
Damn it! Okay, I got a tie. Mystery Mansion. Okay, this one. G.I. Joe Commando Attack.
You're right, that's nowhere on my list.
This board, look it up on eBay. It is impressive. It's a huge board, battlefield. In the middle is a river. And then you
have like Stratego.
Well, you had G.I. Joe versus Cobra.
That's your G.I. Joe fight?
Shut it. You had 4 teams.
4 teams? You just named 2.
Well, time out. 2 teams on each. 2 G.I. Joe teams made up of 6 guys. 2 each. So 12 guys over there. 12 guys on the Cobra Commander times. So you could play 4 players. Team up against the 2. Okay. Or you can do 2 players and you each get 12 guys, whatever. Okay. So each team basically had a supply tent, a command base or a command tent, and a prisoner or POW fenced area. Basically, you would move the dice, 2 dice, and you go up, and if my Destro guy was facing your Duke guy, like in the same square, you would face each other. You roll the dice. It's kind of an early role-playing game. I didn't realize that until I looked at the thing online this week.
Well,
I was
not
really
an early role-playing game, since those are around since the late 70s. So
okay, well, I didn't know I was playing role-playing games when I was young, okay? So anyways, but you could actually have 2 G.I. Joes on this, or 2 guys face 1 guy, and then 2 dice versus 1, and you just, whoever wins. Whoever loses gets into POW camp.
Oh,
and the goal is to get...
Well, because you can't die in G.I. Joe.
Correct.
So they are only prisoners.
And the goal is you can release those guys by getting to the POW fenced area, roll an even number, and the guy gets out. All your guys get out, and they start
So you
back
kick
over.
the can and you save your guys.
Yes.
Okay.
You go to the supply if you get to the supply tent and roll an even, your two of their guys, the enemy's guys, go into the POW camp. If you get to the command base and you roll an even, you win.
Capture the flag.
Yes,
Woo!
it basically is. But the cool thing is the board was huge. And I loved it because you had these little, place cards that the figures were cardboard cutouts basically of these guys. They were great, and you put them on a slot in this little thing. The cool thing is you could actually put your own G.I. Joe figures on there because there was a hole and you could stick their guys in it, so you could have anybody you want.
So if you already own the figure, you don't need the cardboard cutout. You
can put any figure you want. And
good cross promotion. I'll give them credit for that.
I used to play that by myself a lot. And you used to have the board out and used to... Shut it, Jeff. I was a lonely child.
I'm just imagining you set it up, then run to the other side. You move there, and then run back over.
Reach across.
And then you move there. Oh, now we get to fight.
Well, then I had
I win! Yay!
Shut it. Then I had the Terrordrome, base, and I would put that on there, and I would have the thing. But anyways, so that was one of my favorite games growing up. So there you go. That's G.I. Joe Commando Attack. Seriously, take a look at it. It's great. And then just to let you know, like when you try to capture their base, you would always have 2 Cobra or 2 G.I. Joe guys standing there. So when they entered that little area that you could try to win the game, you would have the 2 guys attack him, so it would be 2 against 1.
Of course they would.
See? Yeah. There you go. So that's my game. So
that's your number 3. What's your number 2?
Monopoly.
Wow. Okay.
Love Monopoly.
Have you ever played it correctly?
Yes. Okay. Well, we talked about this going up to Origins. There's many different versions. We did try the auction one, I think, or so. What did we do?
The correct way to play is auction.
Yeah, because if you don't buy the property, it goes to auction.
Yeah, if you don't buy the property, it goes to auction, so the highest bidder then gets it. That way the properties get sold 2-3 trips around the board.
What my wife and I did, we did a variation. We went around twice. If it wasn't sold, then you auctioned it.
Okay.
My wife and I actually play that a lot, Monopoly. And I love it. Yeah. I'm actually, humble brag, good at it. And so that is Monopoly. I got a lot of different versions.
What's your favorite piece in the regular Monopoly?
I like the car.
Okay.
I like the car.
Everyone fights over the car or the dog, I noticed.
The dog kind of annoys me.
I always put the dog in the car.
Ooh.
I'd have the dog drive the car, so
I
everyone was mad at me.
I do the dog in the thimble. I hate
at least the top hat? Come on.
Oh, the top hat.
The worst ever, and I won't make you say it, is the iron.
Iron. I never picked that.
But what are some of your favorite variations of Monopoly?
I got Star Wars Monopoly.
Yeah, I know there was a while
no one
there.
will ever play that.
I remember years ago at the house my brother was renting with a couple of guys. Like every weekend, they were drinking Star Wars Monopoly.
That would be fun. My wife and I play the island one. There's a new island type one.
Okay.
And then there's
Caribbean
another
islands.
What's that?
Like Caribbean islands.
No, it's like a vacation island thing, and there's variations. You build hotels. And
okay, I can definitely see your wife enjoying that because she pictures herself visiting these islands,
living
hotels.
at the islands. Yeah. Or San Diego musings. Just make us an offer to move. 6 figures.
Send the corporate jet. We'll fly on out.
You think you could fire Dez? We'll take over.
I don't even need 6 figures. I just need enough to pay for cost of living.
So that's 6 figures in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, it probably is.
But anyways, you had the island one, and then there's different variations like that. And then there's another one that you have, you build skyscrapers and that. That's kind of fun, too.
Right.
So, Monopoly, number 2. What's your number 2, Jeff?
You didn't like the Lord of the Rings Monopoly?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
You build trees, walking trees?
Walking trees, yes.
Yeah.
You put walking trees on the land you buy.
Oh, that's great. Then they walk away, because
okay.
about as boring as soccer.
Number 2, I'm going a card game.
Which one?
And all you need is a half a deck of cards to play. Euchre.
Ugh.
I know you don't like the game, but
I don't dislike it. I just get bored.
I can't pass up a game of euchre. Pretty much every Sunday night after the guys I play softball with on Sunday night, we go to the bar and sit around for a couple hours playing euchre and drinking beers, watching baseball on the
ESPN?
television, ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball.
The way you said the television is a new thing.
that box on the wall that shows things.
Sorry, I was gonna say the record player, the radio.
The radio, yes, we watch it on the radio.
Shut it. Anyways, so you like euchre, huh?
I like euchre.
Okay.
And like I said, we used to, a group of us, including your wife, but not you because you don't like the game. We're at one point doing like kind of a bi-monthly.
Yeah, you guys haven't done that in a while.
It's been a while. All you people start having kids.
It's been a while.
You start getting
Pick
kids
a day.
and
I'll
more
stay home
kids.
and watch the kids. Kids go to bed. I can play video games. Which, on a side note, for Father's Day, my wife got me Watch Dogs for the PlayStation 4.
I remember you talking about that.
Yes, where you basically hack everything. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but less criminal. You hack like electronics in the game and that. I've played about 2 hours worth so far. Definitely like it.
All right. Well, we already discovered my number 1 was Trivial Pursuit. Which
really?
you try to ruin my list.
I love Trivial Pursuit.
It's like, oh, I know Jeff loves trivia, so I'll throw it out early.
I never even thought about that.
So
Of
what's
course,
your
now I'm
number
really
1?
upset about Mystery Mansion. Damn it. Number 1, card game, Pit.
Oh, yeah, I know we've had some Pit wars before.
Yes.
And I know there are some people who refuse to play Pit with you anymore.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, so you get a card game. You get commodities, sugar,
commodity
coffee.
trading. You feel like you're on the floor at
stock
Wall
market.
Street there.
And you get a bell. And you hit the bell, and everybody gets the cards dealt out.
Yeah.
And basically, you're trying to make, is it all the same suits in
Yeah,
your hands?
you're trying to get at least a certain amount of each commodity.
I think it's 5 or 7. I can't remember.
God, it's been a while since I've played it. I can't remember
Been a
the exact
while.
rules.
Yeah, so basically you're trying to get all these cards. And basically it starts like, okay, it works best obviously with 4 or 5 people, but you hit the bell and everybody yells at the same time.
You just start trading
need
2 for 2, 1 for
Yeah.
1, 3 for 3, or even as many as you want to
I need two, and then somebody goes, okay, here you go, and you switch cards and you're trying to get all the same, basically suit, but in this case commodities. And then each commodity has different points.
Yeah.
Sugar, I think, is the lowest at 65 or 55. And you play up to 300 or 500. You play 500. And whoever gets enough of this suit hits the bell.
Hits the bell when you've got when your whole hand is a commodity or whatever. You got all of that commodity, so you hit the bell and you're like, yay, I win.
Yeah. So and then you get points, and then obviously
And
play
then you
up to
keep
500.
going, and there are some people who have refused to ever play that game or let it in their house anymore.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I enjoy it.
I think it's because I'm loud. I could be loud.
You could be loud.
I've offended a lot of people that aren't even playing the game because I'm so loud.
Yeah, that is true.
So Pit is my number 1 game, and I love it. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at it online. PIT.
Go.
Okay, so some honorable mentions. I had Scattergories.
That's one that I really enjoy playing, and was one that crossed my mind, but 5 others beat it out. And my friend, categories is I always found fun. We found different ways of playing that. So where you would roll the die, come up with your list of 12 items, and then blindly pick a list and see if whatever you came up with fit the category.
I like that. Let's see here. Cards Against Humanity was on there, but I didn't put it on there just because it was still new. We haven't played it enough.
I've played it enough to know I like it.
I do like it. And then one of the I did like Stratego.
Stratego growing up was the one strategy game that I really liked.
A little bit older.
Yeah.
Not so much liking it as much.
Oh, I like it. I
like it, but
I still like it. But you don't like it because you realize you're not allowed. You don't have Navy SEAls, and you're not allowed to cross the.
I always used to cross the water.
Yeah,
in the game.
Those are spaces you can't go. They're not. I
think it's ridiculous.
Navy SEAls in this game.
And then finally, Risk. I love.
I was
Risk.
just about to mention Risk.
Do you
Risk
play
and
Risk?
Stratego. I haven't played it in a long time.
I haven't either, and that's why I didn't put it on there because
I enjoy Risk. The biggest problem I didn't like about Risk was too much dice rolling and figure moving, and things would get a little convoluted. I remember in college there was a computer version of Risk.
Yes, on the Commodore 64.
We were playing ours on Macintoshes.
Okay. I played mine on Commodore 64C a lot.
But the computer version, just took all the dice out of it. It did the calculations itself and all the moving of figures. There's just a number over the land. That's how many you have.
That's what,
So I really enjoyed that. And then when I tried to find a version of that on console games or whatever, they just were too flashy with all their graphics. I'm like, I just want a map with numbers, and I click on it. That's all I need.
There is a Lord of the Rings Risk board game.
Oh, there's a lot of different Risk board games. Yeah.
So I do like. We may have to play Risk one time.
I'll do it.
I'll play Risk. And then guess Nikki NZ at Puma Zealy on Twitter. She put the only tabletop game, like true tabletop, like RPG, is Hero Quest.
And that's one I've never played, so I can't judge Hero Quest.
And then I said, what about Monopoly? And then she just wrote, no one will play that with me, sad face. Yeah. But yeah, I have Lord of the Rings Monopoly. So there you go.
Yeah, if you want to listen to more Monopoly, I'm pretty sure on Arkham, Des goes off on how Monopoly is an awful game.
Des goes off on a lot of stuff.
40 going on 14 had a board game episode where they pretty much all rip on Monopoly.
I like Monopoly.
But that's where, I can't remember which of the gentlemen over there at 40 going on 14 had mentioned, but it's like pretty much just because no one plays Monopoly. You're correct. It's like there is no money for free parking. Properties go up for auction. Everyone complains it takes too long. It's because they play it wrong, and they keep throwing money at people when the point is you're supposed to take money away from people.
We always put money in free parking.
Yeah, and that keeps the game going. So people who complain it takes too long, no free parking money.
What about the game Life?
I hated that game.
We play that here. I play that all the time with my wife.
The game of Life has one choice you make and your first turn on whether you go to college or not. Other than that, you do whatever
not necessarily the new ones. You buy houses and sell them back. Insurance, college loans.
Well, there was always insurance, whether you bought insurance or not, and I never did because it was a waste of money.
I don't like that how it makes you get married.
That's true. It makes you get married and have kids.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's no... and that should be the most important decision of your life.
You should get money for giving the kids up for adoption.
I'm selling my kids. That's a good idea. Black market baby exchange. That would be a great addition to Game of Life. This rich family wants to pay
me $20,000 for my child. Here you go. In the Game of Life.
Donate sperm should be an option. And if you donated sperm, all of a sudden kids are tracking you down.
Can we make a new Life version?
We should, although...
Donate sperm. Let's see. Get a DUI. Let's see what else. You refuse to get married. You divorce. You lose half your money.
Oh, that would be interesting. That's true. There is no divorce in the Game of Life, is there?
Yeah, see?
Oh, bad game.
Let's see.
I never liked it.
Give me something else. You can lose your job in the new one.
I think that was always an option, wasn't it?
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else.
Lose your hair.
Lose your hair. Okay.
I think The Simpsons did a opening thing with the couch gag or whatnot, Game of Life version. So if you haven't seen that, you can probably find it. Google it on online. Find it on YouTube or something.
I like that. I think we should do it. Get a drug habit.
That's true.
Get a drug habit.
Become alcoholic. Those should all be on there.
I like it. I like the new version.
Yeah, I would. that version might at least be fun, but I mean, games where you don't get options on how you want to play. You just move and do what it tells you to do. I mean, that's worse than Chutes and Ladders. Okay.
So now, Jeff, you got a moment. Your Jeffication, not anger.
It's not an anger. A moment of silence. I have to discuss that the passing of my number one sports icon when Tony Gwynn passed away this past Monday. He was like my favorite sports player in any sport of any generation. He was the classiest guy in the history of sports. He cares about people. He cares about the game. He was, in my opinion, the greatest hitter of his generation. I've read books where people say the greatest hitter of all generations, which he would, humbly decline that.
Humble brag.
He would decline that honor. But the passing of Tony Gwynn in a time when people are jumping franchises to go to the highest bidder. He was at San Diego when they were having fire sales, but it was his team, his town. He stayed there through thick and thin, and it's something you don't see in any game anymore. And I don't want to be a down note here or something on our podcast, but I just have to mention that before we close up, that I am sad to see him go, and I hope
he was
more
young
people,
too, 54.
Yeah, 54. I didn't even realize. Apparently, he had cancer. I didn't even realize that. So
they said from smokeless tobacco, it got it.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about.
And a little
fun fact: his lowest batting average ever was either 289 or 298, and that was his rookie year.
I think 89 would do
289.
I think so.
But, I think it was 289.
But he pretty much was over 300 every year, and
almost hit 400 one year. 394,
and pretty much has a entire closet of Silver Slugger awards for being the highest batting average league year after year in the league. So just a little shout out there to the life and career of Tony Gwynn.
So I always liked Tony Gwynn growing up too. Hell of a player.
Yes.
Hell of a player.
Hell of a player and an even better human being.
You couldn't take Dennis Rasmussen. San Diego.
Storm Davis? Come on.
Storm Davis. Steve Trout. Okay, so on an uplifting note, bad idea of the week.
All right, what's this week's bad idea, Jason?
Number 239.
Yes.
Not playing board games.
Yes, go play board games, people.
Especially Trivial Pursuit, number 5 favorite for me.
Number 1 favorite. My favorite game to ever play. The problem I have with that one is I'm too good that no one wants to play against me.
Humble brag.
Humble brag.
Hashtag.
I'm throwing the challenge out there to anyone listening to this. And next, if you think you can take me, I want the competition. Let's do it.
Do it.
Do it. I'll do it over Skype after I learn how to use that, if that's how you want to play. So, that is the bad idea of the week.
Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.